Hi, my name is Harry Unsworth, and I'm going to be talking about Timothy O'Neill's athlete profile. Timothy was tested twice with 6 weeks between each test. There was 6 physical exercises he was tested on. These exercises include the vertical jump, the broad jump, sit and reach, the 20-meter speed, yo-yo, and a 5:05 test. As you can see on my poster, I have displayed both Timothy's scores for each exercise for both tests, including the percentage difference for each exercise. I am going to give you a technique summary of 5 exercises inside the gym, how to do them correctly, some key tips, and where to progress with these lifts. The 5 lifts include the deadlift, the front squat, a single leg squat, a clean and press, and the Swiss ball jackknife. Firstly, we will talk about the deadlift. The deadlift is a functional compound movement that uses many different muscle groups, predominantly muscles through the back and the legs. As you can see in the video, the deadlift is performed by standing shoulder width apart with the bar starting on the floor, gripping the bar shoulder width apart, pulling the bar up to your pelvis with a straight back, tight core, and head facing forward during the whole movement. It is important that the deadlift is performed with proper form, otherwise you may be subject to injury. A few key tips for the deadlift: keeping your back straight, bending your legs a little bit, and keeping your core tight through the whole movement will help with stability and to prevent injury. You shouldn't go too heavy until you have the form correct, otherwise that could cause injury as well. Learn how to do the movement correctly before adding more weight. It is also important that you bend your knees so that you're predominantly putting the stress of the weight on your legs rather than your back. This is for safety. Next exercise I'm going to talk about is the front squat. The front squat is a compound movement that targets the muscles in the legs, including the glutes, the hamstrings, the quadriceps, and the calves. It can be difficult to do. It's quite difficult as an exercise to perform, but when done correctly, it can be very beneficial for our leg growth and strength growth in the legs. It is performed by standing shoulder width apart like the deadlift, or a bit wider if that's more comfortable, gripping the bar, standing shoulder width apart like the deadlift, or a bit wider if that's more comfortable, gripping the bar. Then you unrack the bar and squat down to about 90 degrees, just below possibly if you can, and then squat back up. This movement can be repeated numerous times for as many repetitions as you see fit. Some key tips for the front squat: keeping your back straight through the whole movement and your core tight through the whole movement, keeping your elbows high, which will help keep your back straight as well. Shoulder width apart as well. It rests on your shoulders. You can do it either with cross arm like I am in the video. It's easier for me. It is not the proper way to do it. You're meant to bend your arms and just hold it in your fingertips as it rests on your shoulders, but I'm not flexible enough to perform it that way. That's something I personally need to work on. So yeah, you can do it 2 ways. You can grip the bar either one of those 2 ways, then just making sure you have your form correct before adding more weight, just like any other exercise really. The next exercise I'm going to talk about is the single leg squat. This exercise targets the muscles in the legs, including the glutes, hamstrings, quadriceps, and calves, just like the front squat, except this time it targets a single leg at a time. The single leg squat is done by standing on one leg and squatting down, outstretching your other leg and focusing on balance, and then squatting back up. Some key tips for this is keeping your arms out in front of you to keep your back straight and keep balanced. Also staring at something still helps with balance. Personally, I need to work on this exercise. I'm not very good at it at this stage, but that's something I need to work on. Next, I'm going to talk about the clean and press. This is a functional movement that targets numerous muscles in the body. It's an Olympic lift used in competition. by a lot of strong athletes all around the world, both men and women. This exercise, it's very important to use proper technique. It can be very dangerous and you could be subject to injury if it is not done correctly. It is performed like the deadlift to start off with, same technique as the deadlift, shoulder width apart with your feet and your hands, lifting the bar up to your pelvis. It is then jerked up to your shoulders into a front squat position, and from there, using some leg drive, snapping it up above your head using shoulder muscles, and keeping your core tight and back straight through the whole movement is some of the key tips. It is very important that you learn the correct form before adding more weight in the clean and press. The final exercise I'm going to talk about is the Swiss ball jackknife. This is an exercise targeting the abdominal muscles. It is performed by placing your feet on the Swiss ball. Hands should be shoulder width apart in a push-up position on the ground. Bringing in your knees into your chest in a slow movement, tensing your core muscles. The muscles should contract and burn. This can be repeated for as many reps as suitable for the person. Some key tips for this are to keep your back straight, keep your core tight, breathe through the motion so you're not breathless at the end of it.